Hi, this is Jim McGreevey, and I'm with a great gal, Keisha. And Keisha, could you introduce yourself?
My name is Keisha Williams.
And Keisha, tell us where you grew up.
Grew up in Perth Amboy, New Jersey.
And where in Perth Amboy, New Jersey?
Delaney Homes.
Delaney Homes. And what was it like growing up in Perth Amboy?
It was good. It was a good environment, family, everybody stuck together.
And give me something that you remember from growing up in Perth Amboy. A story about your mom, a story about your aunt, your brother, something that's special to you.
We always did cookouts and invite the whole neighborhood. Everybody was able to come, and then we had a pool where we grew up at, so then we would go swimming. So that was like a good memory for me.
A good memory. And then where did you go to grammar school?
I went to Ross Street in Woodbridge.
Yep. And then, can you go to Ross Street, Woodbridge? And then where did you go to high school?
I went to Perth Amboy High School.
Okay. And what's your memory of Perth Amboy High School?
Having fun. I used to like going to school. Like, I used to look forward to go to school. And, I don't know. I just used to love my teachers. Like, I had certain teachers that always...
You just lit up. You just lit up. As soon as you started thinking about high school, you just lit up.
I used to love going to high school. Like, it was like my phases of being an adult. I'm about to be an adult. It's my last.
Yeah.
So I was pretty excited about it.
And did you like learning?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was special about Perth Amboy High School?
My teacher, Miss Green, she made it special. She always made sure that her students, no matter who they were, that they did their work.
Yeah.
She helped them. If they didn't know what they was doing, she would stay.
And she worked it. She cared.
Yeah, she cared.
And, all right, so then what happens in the Keisha story after Perth Amboy High School?
I started school for criminal justice.
Okay.
And then my uncle got murdered by the police, and I stopped going to school.
All right, so just share, for the viewers, I just want to, so how did his death impact you? How did that trauma impact you spiritually, psychologically? How did that?
Spiritually, I stopped going to church because I was upset at what happened, and I was only 21.
Yeah.
I didn't understand why would they do that?
Yeah.
He was a good guy. So the trauma part, it affected me a whole bunch. It affected me mentally, physically, within my body. I lost my eyesight. My body started shutting down from stress. I went through a lot of stuff, and then 4 years later, my best friend got shot.
So I know that, but I want to go a little slower.
Okay.
So when you talk about his death as a family member, and you talk about that trauma, did you share it with anybody?
Not really, because I feel like people don't understand it. So, because they haven't really been through it. It was me and my mom. My mom always prayed for me,
Your mom loves you.
She loves me to death.
She loves you to death,
Yes.
right? So did your mom have advice for you?
Yes, she always told me, just pray, God's going to heal my heart and give me understanding and peace with the situation.
And did you feel any healing at some point?
Yes.
But then what happens?
My best friend got shot.
Okay.
The same way, and I had just started going
And what
to
happened?
church.
Can you tell the circumstances of what happened?
He had got into an altercation with someone, and they came back and shot him.
And where was this?
In Caseby.
Okay. And then what happened?
I went to trial, and I had to sit and watch, a lot of stuff. I did what I couldn't do with my uncle case, with my best friend case.
And what does that mean?
Go to court and stuff, because my uncles didn't want me to. I was so emotionally broken from the trauma with my uncle. They didn't want me to be in court and see all that stuff that they was gonna be presenting.
Yep.
So I didn't have that experience. But with my best friend, I wrote it out, the whole thing. I went to trial with his mom, and they put his picture up, how everywhere he was shot, and I got an idea of what I would have seen if I would have had the opportunity to go for my uncle.
But what did that do to you, the experience at trial?
it made me strong. It built something up inside of me that I could make it. I started going to church more.
So, what was it about the trial? Was it the fact that you were trying to do something good? Was it that you were?
I just wanted justice to be served.
You wanted justice. You wanted justice to be served. You had the courage to testify. So I'm just trying to say, what's the link between that, you feeling good, and you going back to church?
It pushed me to run to God for strength. Like,
this is what I want you to think about. Go ahead. This is what I want to pull out of you.
It pushed me to thirst for Him more because that was my strength. When I wasn't before God, I was horrible. I was just broken all to pieces. But when I started really going back to church, it started building me up to be able to do this.
And what did your aunt say? What did your mother say? What did your family say when they saw this process with you?
I'm getting healed. They prayed. My mom used to pray with me for God to strengthen me because I used to just cry. I didn't understand why would they do that, and it threw me off with my future because I wanted to follow in my mom's footsteps and work with law enforcement.
And you've got to be proud of your mom.
I am.
Right?
I'm super proud of my mom.
She's got a great career.
Yeah, she's retired now.
Yeah, but I mean...
Yeah. So I wanted
how many years?
Years. 20.
It was over... Yeah. It was
25.
Yeah, decades.
Yeah.
So then what happened? Share your story.
I met Benny Murph, and he put me onto your re-entry program, and I came.
And so you make some wrong decisions, and then you start making some right decisions.
Mm-hmm.
What helped you, Keisha, to go from wrong decisions to right decisions?
Because I wanted to be better.
Why did you want? Like I'm breaking it down real simple. Why did you want to be simple? Why did you want to be? Why did you want to be better?
Because I was raised to be a certain way.
All right, and I'm going to be basic. Why did you want to go back to the lessons of your mother and your aunt?
For me, to better myself.
But what in this process says to Keisha, now I want to go back to standing strong, standing right? Right? Because there's a period when with chaos, and then there's a period of doing the right thing. What helped you go from this to this?
Life, man. I was tired. I just wanted to do right and just do better as a person, help people, and that's what I'm doing.
No, I know that's what you're doing now, but what I'm trying to get at, and I just want to push a little bit more, because I think this is really important. You go from, the chaos of the streets to them having this incredible change. And I want to know, just bluntly, as a friend, I want you to share what's in your heart. What goes through Keisha's mind that says, you know what? I got to do this differently. You know what? I got to go back to the lessons my mother taught me. I got to go back to the lessons my aunt taught me.
I had to learn how to forgive. That was a big step. Once I started forgiving, doors started opening. This is
it, right?
Yeah, things started changing.
So go ahead, say more.
I'm here.
I know, but I know this is like this isn't just for Keisha and Jim, but I want people who see this. And we have a podcast called, this is our podcast, Second Chances, and people are going to say, all right, here's this young woman, smart, and she makes a decision. And I just wanted to say, wants to make a decision. So I think it is forgiveness, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think forgiveness has a lot to do with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because forgiveness is you forgive others, you forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So have you forgiven yourself?
Yes.
And how was that healing?
It was good. It was good because I have peace in certain situations I didn't have peace in. I'm not angry like I used to be.
Yeah.
Like to do the same thing over and over is insanity. Change is always good, especially when it's a good change.
Yeah.
To help other people and to help myself. I gotta love myself before I can love somebody else.
So do you love Keisha?
I love myself.
Good. And then when you look at your mom and you look at your aunt and you look at your family and all the support and love, what does that say to you about Keisha?
I can do it.
Yeah.
I got a good backbone. I got good
great support.
Support standing.
You have more support than 75% of the people that come through the program. You've got a mother and an aunt and a family that's with you 1,000%. So we were just with a group of men the other day. Mm-hmm. And one guy said to me he had never known love in his life. And you've known love, right?
Yeah, my mom loves her kids. She showed us how to love other people. She was a foster parent. She always had the doors open for my friends. Whoever needed something, my mom always did it. She gives back to the community now. Yeah. Turkeys for Thanksgiving, Christmas. Yeah. We do food drives.
So what does her example say to you? What is her example in the community? How does her example inform Keisha's life?
No matter what anybody do to you, you still be a blessing to people, because that's my blessing. Like, no matter what people have done to my mom, and don't deal with them, she's still always been a blessing to them, regardless. So she taught me.
So she's a strong woman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And how about your aunt?
Oh, she's strong too. She had my back all the way up here. So
now at this point in your life, what do you want to do with the next chapter of your life?
I want to actually start a program where I'm helping people like you're doing. Like, you know, walk with you with certain things that's, not tidy. Maybe I could fit in and start.
And help support women.
Yeah.
So what do you think women need as much of or more than men coming home?
They need to be loved. They need to be able to express what they went through while they were in there. They need a support system to help them get to where they're trying to go, because it's so hard to get a job when you get out of jail. You can't get no place to live. If they got kids.
And so you just nailed it. So go ahead, keep saying that.
If they have kids, they need to learn how to, get back and with
family reunification. Yeah. And why is it so hard?
Because they take everything from you when you go to jail.
But why is it so hard? Because also many times kids have developed other attachments to other people, to other women.
The kids is suffering. That's the hardest part about it.
Yeah.
They're leaving their kids with someone else.
Yeah.
And hoping and praying that they're not mistreated. Yeah. And then if they come home and they was mistreated or molested or something, now they got to deal with all of that too.
All that guilt and
brokenness.
And so are women? How did you find women in jail treat each other? I found the women to be incredibly loving to each other.
So I have got locked up. I have never been down prison. I've been in the county.
But I mean in the county.
They're treated like men.
No, but how do the women treat each other? Yeah.
Oh, they love on each other. As soon as you come in.
Because that's where I worked in, in the Hudson County Jail, and I found the women actually
as soon as you
caring about each other, regardless of background or race or ethnicity. The women just cared about each other. Yeah. And the men was candidly something different.
Yeah, it was different. When I came in, they made sure I had like snacks, drinks, and if I was okay, and it was different. They embraced They embrace you.
So why do you think women respond one way and men respond another way?
Because women are emotional. Men don't really deal with their emotions. They more so like, I gotta make sure I'm a protector. So it's a natural.
I just think it's also just the loving maternal instinct of women, and I just find the men more concerned about having a group identity.
Yeah.
And the women developing individual relationships of love and compassion. I just thought it was, I just found it personally, just for me, to be a very different response. So did you feel loved and supported by the other woman in jail?
Yeah, it's gonna be all right, don't worry about it. You know, the ones that was going down to prison, they knew they wasn't coming home. So they was just like, just don't worry, go to court, see what's gonna happen. You know, and I know my mom is always Johnny on the spot, so I was worried, but I knew I had the support at home.
Yeah. And so like when you got the love of family, you got women who are supporting you, but you come home and you come home to your family, and what's the experience like coming home?
Shame. I felt like I let them down. My personal feelings, like I was embarrassed because I was raised better than that. You know, my mom worked hard. I didn't have to do the things that I did, but because of what happened to my uncle, the trauma made me. I didn't care.
No, that's honest, right? You didn't care.
Yeah, I didn't.
And you didn't care for that moment of time, and you made bad decisions.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's important, and I think you have, to get past that shame, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're always shameful, then you're going to be acting in that space, which isn't healthy, right? So how do you get from a place of shame to a place of healthy living?
Walk right. Do things different.
No, just go slow. Walk right. What does that mean?
Do things different. Like, I fast now. I pray more. I'm more into my word.
Yep.
You know, God's first in everything that I do.
Yeah. And how does that affect your mind?
I have peace. I have better understanding with myself.
So what do you pray?
For God to renew my mind every day. A fresh
and your heart.
All that. Touch me. Let me be a blessing to other people. That's what I want to do.
You want to be of service.
Yes. I want to tell my story because there's so many people that deal with trauma like this. They're still killing. The police are still killing people. People are still dealing with this, and it's very hard. Like you don't know.
And people are still killing one another.
Yeah, that too. And you don't know what it's like until you really walk in it. So me seeing it, I always said I wish that I could get in contact with people that goes through this because I could pour something into them. Because I know they feel like nobody understands. I used to just bust out crying just to hear a song that me and my uncle used to sing. I would just break down into pieces. And you can't control it.
So why is service important?
That builds me up. That's what we supposed to do.
But what else are you doing when you're doing service?
Helping the other people.
So when I was up in Harlem, I worked at a place called Exodus Transitional Ministry. Mm-hmm. We would take guys that had come out of federal prison. We'd take them up to Abyssinian Baptist Church, and we'd have them serve soup kitchen. They were serving little kids, right? Little kids who had never done anything. And these guys, were frustrated and aggravated by what had happened in their lives. But when they start serving food to some child, they get out of themselves and they're serving some 7-year-old, some 6-year-old, some 5-year-old, right? Some kid who just bluntly wants to eat. And it gets out of their mind, their perspective, their suffering, their pain, their anger. And now it's about this 6-year-old little girl. And that's transformative, right? Why? Because all of a sudden, Keisha, you're not thinking about yourself. This little kid wants to eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what could be more natural or healthy? So service is about getting out of ourselves and turning over to our gifts and helping others.
Mm-hmm.
And what does that do for Keisha?
It makes my day. I dance to make somebody smile.
Wait, say that again. I dance?
Yeah, I dance and everything to make somebody smile. I go feed the hungry in Patterson. And to stand out there and see what be going on, I gotta do something to make them laugh or something because they're already homeless, sleeping outside.
Yeah.
So I'm just a bubbly person like that. I try to make other people happy, even if I'm not happy.
It's a gift. So, and what was your experience, when you were going through reentry? Who's your case manager? Who's the
Miss Robertson?
Yep.
Yeah.
And what was she like?
She's a beautiful woman. And Samantha, that's
Yep.
in the front.
Yep.
When you walk in and you see her,
Yep.
that's you start your day with Samantha.
Yep.
And it just brightens up my day. I smile, I laugh. I call her sis.
Good for you.
And Miss Robertson,
Isn't she beautiful?
a heart of gold.
Talking about dedicated.
Very passionate about her job.
Yep.
Really, really want to help people. She's the one who really wanted me to speak.
Yep. And so what did she do? What in her spoke to you?
She told me her story.
Yep.
That's what spoke to me.
So then what did that do? It created
a bond between me and her. Like I got to tell her my story and be open and not feel like somebody's gonna judge me because she went through it in her own way.
Right. Yep. And her own family.
Yeah, and she took her experience
and did something very good.
Yeah,
very
try
healthy,
to help other
very
people's
loving.
families.
Yep.
Get an understanding when your family come home. It's not easy. It's a process, and people need that.
Because then it's also about acceptance, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you accept people where they're at, not where you want them to be,
mm-hmm.
or not where it's you accept people and you love them for who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you see Keisha at this moment of her life, see her, a young woman and all this, and you've got this experience. What has this experience taught you?
I could do anything. I could actually probably get a job with the state, regardless of.
But before the job, just what has it taught you as a woman? What has it taught you as a person?
It taught me a lot.
You could get through.
Yeah, I could get through a lot, anything.
But how can you get through it?
Praying, staying on my face, talking to God, all the time.
So this is important, right? You can get through virtually anything with the support of blessings, with the support of a loving family,
yep.
Right? So I just want to drive home the message, you're not alone.
And that's what happens to a lot of people. They don't have no support.
Yep.
They by themselves. Either their parents on drugs or,
their parents get frustrated and say enough.
Tired, yeah.
Which is in some cases
it's needed.
Or
to make or break a person.
Or understandable.
Yeah.
And you were blessed. So one, that you're not alone.
Uh-huh.
Two, that you've gone beyond the shame and you realize your worth.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the third lesson is service for you.
I love serving.
No, but go back to the line about dancing.
I dance, I sing.
I dance to see someone smile.
That's right.
I mean, that gave me chills. And that's like poetry. I dance to see someone smile. So, if you were talking to New Jersey, and New Jersey, people are busy in their lives, why is it important to invest in reentry? Why is it important to invest in second chances? Why is it important to lift Keisha up?
Oh, it's important.
People say, how come you're helping her when you've got all these other folks that play by the rules and nobody's helping them. What do you say? What do you say to the doubters?
I'm a win. I'm a win because I'm striving for perfection and
Goodness.
Greatness. I want to be a blessing for real to people. I really want to help people. Like, your program is good. So if we get everything together like it's supposed to be, like, I want to start my own program. To be honest, I want to get a street and my uncle's name in Perth Amboy. That was said to us. I want to do all that, and I'm going to be able to do it. Like,
but why should New Jersey? Why should people care about folks that, whether in jail or prison or addiction treatment? Why is it important to give them a second chance?
They're still human. Everybody deserves a second chance. Just because somebody messed up, don't count them out. God don't count us out.
That's it.
He gives us second chances all the time, every day. So who are we as people not to give somebody else a second chance?
And what do you want to do with your second chance?
I want to run with it. And I want to take people with me that feel like they couldn't do it either. I want to create my own program to really teach people hygiene. Some people don't know how to manage money. Some people just don't know how to wash clothes. They don't.
So I know your mother knows how to wash clothes.
Yeah, she know how to cook and all that. So she caters.
Yep.
So I want to be able to help women that didn't have a mother.
Yep.
Me and my mom is very close.
I know.
So it's a lot that I want to do.
So what would you say to your mother, to your aunt, and to your family about this whole experience, about your gratitude to them? What would be your message to them?
Thank you for never giving up on me. Thank you for believing me, pushing me, and always standing with me. That was my strength. When I was weak, they were my strength. So I appreciate that. And I'm doing what I gotta do.
And how much of a difference did they make in your life?
Big difference. Just by loving me. A lot of people don't have nobody to love them. That love outweighs everything, but people don't understand it. Just to tell somebody you love them, they probably haven't heard it in so long. That makes their day.
Amen. Keisha, thanks. This is a great interview. I danced to see another person smile. That says it all for me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you.